I'll make this real quick. Um, and this way I won't have to address certain things anymore ever again. Got a Facebook friend, Eric Thomas. Hey Eric, look, straight up, you my brother, you my dude. We don't agree on nothing. So probably the only thing we agree on is that every man has a right to express himself. And for that, I'm with you, brother. But anything else, I can't roll with you. And I know that's no problem to you. I'm gonna jump off your page because when I express things to you. I've never gotten disrespect from you. Well, there was one time you ventured out to say something, that I thought was kind of foolish, but we won't even deal with that. But I haven't gotten disrespect from you, and I haven't given you any disrespect, and I haven't given you any hate. But some of the people on your page, man, they like mosquitoes, and a brother doesn't need to be back and forth texting for the whole Facebook world to see that niggas got a problem with each other. One of the things I believe is that all black people aren't the same. All black people are not cut from the same cloth. And that's why you never hear me on the Facebook in the last, I would say, 2 years telling people to come to Jesus, because I've learned that being a Christian is not the thing. Christianity is pagan. Christianity is something that we got as a blend of paganism and what men have commonly called Judaism, which is no such thing. As you know, my take on the Bible is it's a history book about the people who were in slavery in Egypt, who disobeyed their deliverer from slavery and were prophesied that they would be in slavery in the 17th century and beyond into the 18th and 19th century, and that's the so-called black man. These are the Israelites. These are the Israelites. Different tribes. Okay, the tribe of Judah is mainly located in the United States. These North American Negroes. Okay, however, we don't know who in their heart and their genetic pool are Israelites. And since a whole lot of us are mixed up with all kinds of stuff, we don't know what kind of contamination has gotten into our blood and in our thinking. That happens with everyone. But that being said, brother, I'm turning off the notifications from your posts. But I want you to know you can get back at me at any time. Anytime you want. You got to open door to my inbox, my message box. And you've never disrespected me. You've never posted anything on my page that I thought was just antagonistic. But I've always encouraged you, to, hey, do what everybody else does. Speak your mind. However, some of the people that you relate to encourage hate as they try to tell you about hate. And this is what I'm talking about. Nowhere in the world is it safe, is it sane, is it legal, is it healthy, is it psychologically balanced, and is it righteous, and is it loving to teach children that men should sleep with men. Grown ass men can do whatever they want to do. But when you start teaching children that it's okay and it's normal to you're not having sex, You're not having sex. You're playing around in areas where nothing is, without even going into detail. When people start calling you a hate monger because you do not accept what God said is foul, you got some crazy people. And here's the problem. The problem is the book that you hate told you that men would get this way, worse and worse. The book that you hate, and the book that some of you, I had a gay man sleeping with a white man, gay black man sleeping with a white man or something. I don't know. Profile picture. Some of these gay men jump on your page and they're trying to have mental sex with you. And you got to know the spirits of these people. Some of these black women, your mouth is foul and disrespectful. And if a brother tells you, take a carrot and shove it up he disrespected me, but you don't understand. White men taught you how to be liberated women. White men taught you how to disrespect black men. You don't have to be married to a man to respect him. Don't everybody think you fine, and ain't every black man trying to get at you and trying to control you? But I have seen more sisters on here talking shit to black men and using what they learned in this system to so-called put black men in their place. The reason why I really get away from typing people things and being being on the internet typing people stuff and all that, because you can't get a person's emotion and you can't get how strong they are and how weak they are typing. You get in a person's face and you'll see the little jokes and all that stuff that they're typing out. Oh, high-fiving each other and we won. It's a defense mechanism, because if you're solid in where you're coming from, you don't have to resort to trying to make someone feel like you feel. Make someone feel little, or, oh, I scored on you and, fuck you and all that. I'm like, man, here's where black people have to think. If your fortification, I had one brother ask me, what's my salary? Two things came to my mind. Nigga, are you gay? Nigga, are you a paper chaser, like a white boy? What in the fuck does money have to do with anything? Howard Hughes was richer than your ass will probably ever be in 2 lifetimes. You see what happened to him? Read about him. Learn something, black people. Money was created by your former atrociously, overtly abusive slave master. And money is controlled by him today. And you feeling like you have some value because you make money. Somebody can listen to you for 5 minutes and it doesn't matter what you're spouting off. It doesn't matter what you're claiming. You're a slave. I had some people on your page, I'm sure you saw it, arguing about prayer. And, low-minded people, they like to bait you into arguments and discussion. I gotta admit, I repent because, not that I feel that I was in anything challenging, but when I talk to people, I forget sometimes how low and vain people are. People think it does something to their insides. They think it does something to their character and their quality when they're educated. So people don't put emphasis on their spirit. Your spirit is that intuitive part of you that knows where you came from, how effective you're being now, and where you're going. And you can say whatever you want to say about God, prayer, the Bible, and all of that. If you're black, your ass is sitting in the middle of the prophetic word about what would happen to us because of disobedience. And I like to tell one of you little young, whatever you are, it doesn't matter what you don't think about white people and all of that. Let me explain something to you. I don't think white people are anything any different than me, but I just don't buy into their philosophy. I don't think white people are inferior to me, but I just don't buy into their philosophy. You sitting in America, educated by them, driving to be successful and accomplished in their system and in their, whether it be entertainment, politics, government, law, anything. You do what you want. You live how you want. But don't think that someone who is impressed with their inner self is impressed with you. Don't feel that because you can spout off what you've accomplished in a system that was designed not to make you progressive. This system wasn't designed to make you progressive. If you get an opportunity to do something in here, in this system, and you take advantage of that, and it's opportunity around all over the world, but don't think that makes you anything and that adds substance to you. Because some of the most accomplished men in the world are miserable. They're controlling your situation, whether you like it or not. They're putting these phony candidates in front of you. They're fucking up the housing market for everybody in the world. They are laundering money, but they will put you in prison, make you suffer for life. They're pitting men against one another, but they'll take your career. They're sending men to war, but they'll take your career from you if you have a pit bull fight. No. I had to pull out your page, brother. Nothing personal against you, but it's just too many ignorant black people. You got this gang of people that think that they know. Every time they hear someone say faith, they want to bring in their bad experience. And their attention span for self-recognition is this short. Every time I see someone jump on the internet and start, Roosevelt, you this, you that, you're a ball of hate, you this, you that, you that. I say, now what did I touch in this motherfucker? Not that I'm interested in touching anything for people. Anyone who will look at my track record will see that I've always been a man who, through every imperfections and mistakes that I have, I've always been a man who has sought to gear people toward their purpose. Because see, I don't care what the fuck you say about white people, black people, religion, Bible, the church, the most important thing you have, and please hear this, the most important thing you have is your breath. Now you got to ask yourself, where's that breath coming from? And you got to stop playing these games with things that pad you up for a few minutes. Because I don't care what it is, money, education, looks, one-upmanship over somebody. None of that shit gonna help you when you somewhere taking your last breath and all the shit that you mocked and talked about. And you ain't got no other documentation. Don't be telling me nothing about ancient spirituality and the truth and all the gods and all of this before Christianity and all that. First of all, I ain't no Christian. Second of all, I know what Christianity is. And I know what it is not. I know what Jesus is. And I know what Jesus is not. But the essence of your life is your breath. That's all you got. That's the only thing you know you got. That's the only thing that wakes you up in the morning. And while you're dealing with all the shit that you think is important that makes you look good in front of people, your breath and what that breath does for you when it wakes you up out of semi-consciousness and gives you an opportunity to make some sense of your life. That's what's important. This is my message to all of you, even those of you who I have not blocked. You got somebody that I blocked on there and they talking to you about, yeah, and Roosevelt Brown, this and this and that and that. You weren't there. Here's Roosevelt Brown now. This is what Roosevelt Brown is saying. Male or female, if I asked to be your friend, it wasn't for shit, but to do with you what you think you're doing with me. Introduce you to the real shit, your breath. Hold your breath now. Hold your breath now. And let me tell you how far you'll go just holding your breath. The point being, there's nothing more important than the spirit. I'm only making this video because some of you empty-headed people, you type too damn much. And if I ask you for a video chat, it ain't to play booty with your ass, Pokemon, Booty Bandit, and it's showing to get nowhere near you if you're a female. But you have got to wake the fuck up and save your righteous mind. Because some of you young sisters, the way you talk, you think you're disrespecting an older person. That just shows me that somewhere you missed some training. You can crack jokes about shit that you hate or you don't understand or you mad at religion and all that shit. I don't give a fuck about religion either. But I respect people. And more importantly than that, I respect my breath. Now, this is my way of exiting your channel, Eric. Man, I love my brothers. I love my people. I love my people. But I've done my research. I've studied. I recognize that I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's my lineage. That's what I go back to. People saying you're separating Africa and all of that. You got to understand something. Africa is not the name of the region that our people came from. And Africa is not the original birthplace of the Hebrew Israelites. If you look at the hieroglyphics, you had Egyptians who were black. You had slaves who were black. If you look at a lot of the pictures of the presidents, Washington, Jackson, Adams, there was a black man in the background off to the side with a turban on. And because of your mentality, And a lot of us, we thought those were slaves. Those aren't slaves, those are Moors. Then you got black men with the fezzes on, killing black men, shooting black men, murdering black men, hate black men. Moors doing battle for white men in Africa. Moors taught white men the sciences, encouraged white men to bathe black. But they're not Hebrew Israelites. Now, everybody hates the Hebrews. No, I'm not talking about these Jewish people who did what Caucasian men do. Come in, possess, conquer, plagiarize, murder, wherever they go, and broadcast to the world that we are the original. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the original that's in that Bible that nails your black ass to the prophecies that are happening today. And those of you who say you read the Bible, you've read it with a blindfold on, or you lying. You ain't read it at all. Because if you read Deuteronomy with any amount of understanding, the 28th chapter, you would see that these prophetic utterances that came down on a people who had come out of Egypt are sitting on us today as people. Now my page is open. I'm always here for my people. But you get your last chance to talk to me when you want to bullshit. Black sisters, one of y'all talking to, you're angry. You're angry. And you accuse me of being angry. And I'll say to you, that doesn't take a whole lot of perception to see. I'm not angry at you. But, oh yeah, I can tell you I'm angry. God is angry. Because he's got a whole lot of you little, all nations. You're not acting right. And you can say what you want about I don't believe in him and I this and I that and I don't believe in him. You're psychotic. Here's why. Everything that you see that is structure as it relates to man is a pattern of what is in heaven. For instance, you have authority, you have law, you have order. That did not come out of chaos. That came out of the author of order and authority and patterns, the Creator. Order does not create itself. Authority does not create itself. Patterns do not create themselves. And some of you, you're so proud, you're stupid. Some of you, I don't even address you no more. You jump in on something, you want to wade in, and you pull the subject off to something that you can feel, I got him on this, I got him on this. Gotcha. Something. One woman had nerve to say, gotcha. What are you trying to do getting people? I'm entertaining something. Prayer. If God is a God of prayer, if prayer works, then why do you pray for people and they die? You have those kinds of questions because you haven't taken the time to study like you study for a fucking exam that a white man will give you a degree for. You're so busy and carnal-minded, you don't give a fuck about your spirit. Ain't no degree in college gonna keep your heart beating. Ain't no degree in college going to help you when you're in deep shit. Oh man, this is laughable. To me, this is what to me is psychotic about how we as black people think. We have been removed. Now, I'm not talking, I was talking to someone from, I guess they're from Sierra Leone. I don't know where they're from, I'm not talking to you. I don't have to claim kinship with you because you're from Africa. It's not that I despise black people from Africa. I do not. But I'm not going to be guilty of what a lot of other nations are guilty of. A lot of other nations think that just because we're black, we're all from the same bloodline and we're all from the same nationality. And we're not. We're not. Chinese will tell you, no, I'm not Japanese. Japanese will tell you, no, I'm not Chinese. But everybody black, y'all niggas, y'all black people. So I was talking to a person and I said, well, the world hates us. I'm understanding. I'm Hebrew Israelite. I'm understanding that the biggest religion in the world, the most powerful, deceptive religion in the world, Christianity, hijacked the culture of my ancestors. So we come here, we don't even speak Hebrew. They have books on Hebrew that they teach us. And the birth and the situations in the Bible, the stories, the historical accounts in the Bible, you can say all of them are false and fake, all you want. And I'll say, okay, false and fake. But the accounts in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and especially Deuteronomy, nail your black ass to the fulfillment of prophecy and to an expectation of more fulfillment. And don't act like you know what the fuck I'm talking about, because you don't. Because I can tell you don't. I don't give a shit about what you know. I don't give a shit about how much money you have. You don't believe there's a God because you don't know where the fuck you came from. You don't know what the fuck you're doing now. And you don't know where the fuck you're going. And you can get mad about that all the fuck you want. But bring your ass on a video chat. No, you know what? Never mind. Fuck that. You can't bring your ass on a video chat without screaming and talking shit and trying to find a paste up meme. I will tear your ignorant ass up. God could send something in your room to fuck with your head and get you straight in a heartbeat that wouldn't give a shit about your degree. And a lot of you brothers, Eric, you need to watch out for this. You got these white people on your line feeding and fueling your fire. And if you say, I ain't scared, I don't give a fuck about no white man saying I'm racist. Are you kidding me? A race is an athletic event. You don't fucking classify men as race. And you guys got that shit in your head and you are slave-minded. And you're scared to stand up as who you are. Let me tell you who God is, motherfucker. Me. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know that nigga crazy now. Fuck you. That's why you don't believe the Bible. The Bible said that I am him. And that's why I had to get rid of my minister's license. Oh, yeah. You'll see messages with me talking about Jesus on there. I've had very prominent people that I respect and know, saw some of my old messages about Jesus and took them down. I mean, cut me off and all of that. And, that's cool. Because anybody who knows me knows who I am. And anybody who don't know who I am, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You see, being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove is not going to fit anybody's perception of you. And people who are going to relate to you, they're going to have to relate to you from here, spirit to spirit. Spirit to spirit. Most of you people on these lines bashing a God that you say doesn't exist, and then bashing people that you say don't believe in, that you feel believe in him, and then bashing people and trying to flip the script on people who call your foul ass out because you want to play Pokemon or Booty Bandit, or because you want to sleep around. One brother said, you ain't saying shit to women, single women who got children in the church and people that fly your flag. Motherfucker, who told you I was a Christian? You don't want to get in a debate with me. You best to stay behind your typewriter and talk the shit you talk, because I will eat your ass alive. And Eric is my friend, and so every time Eric says something about God, I'm not trying to convert Eric. But the scripture says that the mouth of the ungodly should not be established in the earth. And so this is how I not get down, this is how I get up. You say something about my God, he don't need to defend himself. But I will defend my right to tell you, no, you don't know what the fuck is going on in the earth, and you keep your shit up, and you're going to be in a situation. I'm telling you, some of you, this is a prophetic word for you. Take it however the fuck you want. Yeah, preachers don't usually curse, huh? Surprise. It's a motherfucking prize. Gomer Power and Shazam and all that shit. Some of you, you're going to have an experience where you have to humble yourself and realize that without the claims of a creator that made you to be like him, you don't have shit. Not a thing. And some of you are going to have to understand that the essence of your life is not the shit that you have come to gravitate, or should I say pull towards you from an external source. The essence of your life is what is inside of you. Had some little youngster talking about your IQ and your intelligence level. Your brain matter is only fortified and fueled by your spirit. Your brain matter does not get its nutrients from any motherfucking thing you learn in a miseducation institution created by your oppressors. Yeah, I said it, your oppressors. You can say what the fuck you want. White men are oppressing you when they give you an opportunity, you dumb nigger. Yeah, you dumb nigger, and you need to quit acting like a nigger. Feeling like when you get around somebody that's not educated, you got one up on them. You're just a sitting duck. The more successful you are in their world, the more a target you are. You don't understand that. Now, I'm not saying run from success, but keep your head on straight. But see, you can't help it if you've never learned any better. If you've never learned where true wealth is, you can't help it. I would handle any one of you. I take 10 of you on, dirt poor and homeless on the street, and I would fuck with your head, I guarantee you. Give me 15 minutes with you, and I would fuck your head up, and by the time you were through, all you could do was talk about what you have, or how you ain't smart, or how you all that. And go to the cemetery and see how many people there have degrees. Go to the cemetery, go to the mortuary today, and look at the success story of a lot of the people. And don't go to a little mortuary in the hood. Go find a mausoleum where the rich are buried. Why is that important? Because your mortality and your immortality are the two major events of your life. Your mortality is when you came into the natural. Your immortality is where you will transition, where you have no natural things holding you down. And you better believe, you atheist, non-conforming motherfucker, you better believe that when your ass goes over to the other side, you're going to have to reap something for how you live, for the idle words you said, the damnable words you said concerning the source that has you here. You better believe you're going to deal with that shit. Because if men can fuck you up in prison for breaking the law here, the lawgiver can fuck you up good for breaking the law there. Some of you are so stupid in your assessment. Stupid. You are utterly stupid in your assessment. You think that science, from the standpoint of your oppressors, yeah, I said it, ignorant self, think you're not under oppression. You can't even wake up and do what you want to do. You got to submit to something about this society and about this government that has nothing to do with you. You don't understand about the FEMA camps and the body bags and the coffins and the trains that have shackles on the ankles and shackles on the wrists, and the what they're planning for a large group of people. I wonder who. And you don't have to look at FEMA, just look at the prison system. But nah, you got your ass a job. You got you a car. You got you some money. Chasing a carrot on a stick. But I digress. Back to my point. You think that these evil motherfuckers who have lived fucking over people all their lives are just gonna die and be nowhere? Come on, say it. Say it. Say you believe that shit. And I don't even have to tell you how stupid and empty-headed you are. How proud and numb your skull is. Just say it. Say you believe that shit. Now, if you don't believe that, if you don't believe that murderers and haters and fornicators and abusers of themselves with mankind and effeminate and men who do the disgusting shit, yeah, I said it. You don't change world thought. It can be a million of you men that want to do perverted things. You don't change world thought. You don't make people. Well, you know what? You may influence the world, but you can't influence someone who knows the truth and who knows who he is. The Bible that I read says one of us will put 1,000 devils to flight and 2, 10,000. That means it's an innumerable number. Yehoshua, Mashiach, said that I will tread on serpents and scorpions, all the power of the enemy. He also said through his son, his prophet Isaiah, Ishiah, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against me in judgment, I'll condemn them. Now I'll tell you where we're headed. We're headed toward a showdown, to this dog fight. I'm not in a dog fight with you. You may not like what I say. I'm not in a dog fight with you. I don't wrestle against flesh and blood. I wrestle against principalities, against powers, against spiritual wickedness in high places, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Shit that you see in movies and you dismiss as unreal. That's who I wrestle with. That's who I battle with. So by the time I'm on a Facebook chat with you, I'm just seeing when your ass is going to flip out and start trying to put somebody down because you feel insecure. No, you started putting me down. I didn't put your ass nowhere. I just told you what the word says about the shit you doing, and you don't like it. And then you try to side up with God. I had one bozo ass statement. And your statement is out there. So I'm Wayne Curry. I wouldn't want to be anywhere in eternity with Roosevelt Brown. You know, what makes you think your ass is going to be in eternity glorifying men playing Pokemon and Booty Bandit? What makes you think you're going to be in eternity? You can call me hateful all you want. What makes you think you're going to enjoy eternal bliss? And you are clearly saying to God, no, fuck that. I'm going to do what I want. Or fuck that. I'm going to let people do what they want. First of all, you don't let people do anything. You don't let me say anything. And you don't let people do anything. People do what they want because everyone has a free will. And see, you motherfuckers that are introducing this gay agenda in the school because another person, I ain't gonna even call your name, because you just like to argue and you don't never say shit. And you know who you are. You just like to argue on this issue about homosexuality and stuff in schools. And no, it's to have someone that has the nerve to say some stupid shit to me like, no, they're not teaching homosexuality in school. They're teaching tolerance. And they're just wanting to make sure they've had a lot of deaths of homosexual kids and hate crimes against homosexual kids. And so that's why they're introducing the knowledge of homosexual relationships, because they want to make them aware. They are fucking aware already. Don't be stupid. These people have an agenda, and you can tell, because gay men are not satisfied with you just letting them do whatever they want to do with each other. They want you to accept it. They want you to accept it. They want you to let them bring it into schools, not to teach tolerance, not to deter violence against gays. Because then this is what I would ask you, that dumbass statement. If it's to deter violence against gays, where are the books that deter violence against people who are not choosing a lifestyle because they were born that way and they feel that way? But where is the education that teaches little white kids not to look down on black kids in school? Where's the education that teaches black kids to keep from killing each other in school? These motherfuckers got an agenda, and they not going to be satisfied to everybody accepting Pokemon and Booty Bandit. They not going to be satisfied. And see, I walk a line that nobody else walks, and I don't care, because I wasn't created as anybody else. I don't give a fuck about a ministry title. I don't give a fuck about a church and people giving me tithes and shit. I don't give a fuck about Christians saying, oh man, Roosevelt, you've lost it. You've lost it. And I certainly don't give a fuck about some godless minded people saying, this is how a Christian's supposed to act and you don't act that way. Or you're stupid because you believe in something you can't see. Motherfucking, you cannot see the IRS, but they fuck with you every month. And they make you give up what's yours. And they're not even a government institution. You're a slave. And the Bible figured your ass out a long time ago. That's why you don't like it. You don't fool somebody that know what the fuck's going on. You may even fool yourself. You may even fool yourself, and you may think, no, this is my righteous feeling. Some of you are so fucking confused. You saying you don't believe in God, you don't believe in prayer. Then you're going to turn around and say eternity in heaven and righteousness and love. And the shit, love comes from God. Are you crazy? You don't believe in God. You don't love nobody. You're selfish. You don't have a right or an exclusive claim on love. People talking about this gay marriage and men marrying men and all of that. You know what? I have friends that are gay. Probably after they see this video, they won't want to be my friend no more. And that's not a problem with me, because I love you anyway. I love everybody. But love is not agree with you when you fucked up. See, I don't want my wife agreeing. I know she loved me, but I don't want my wife agreeing with me when I'm fucked up. I got homies in the hood that, you know, I grew up with, and I got people that I met after I left the hood, and I got people all over. But don't be treating me nice and saying things to me because you don't want to offend me, and you know good and well I'm fucked up. But see, you show what kind of spirit you're of when someone comes up to you and says, what about this thing that you're doing here though? Where's the cutoff line for this? What's the gauge for whether or not this thing here is right? What about it? What about that thing? Oh, now you start pulling out shit that you're not consistent with. You a gay man, and you sitting here trying to tell me what God says. Man, think. You are being led by your sex drive. And we can all do that. We can all do that. And don't talk this shit to me about what the law says you can do. My ancestors created the law. Had somebody make a stupid ass statement like, well, homosexual was here before religion. I'm going to tell you, there's a whole lot of shit here before religion. That don't make it right. Religion ain't the clique anyway. I keep telling you that. See, you think you know what religion is. No, religion ain't what you think it is. Religion is any method of thinking and any pattern of thinking that has you relating to a concept, philosophy, or spiritual phenomenon outside of yourself, and you practice it repetitiously. And that covers all of y'all, from Christians to atheists and everything in between. Because the only thing that is not religion is the true knowledge that is in that Bible that tells you your ass is a little God. But you can't claim that and then claim you don't want the Bible. See, the Bible throws all the responsibility on you. For all of you talking about, if God this, why can he do this and why can he do that? God don't owe you shit. And every time I hear that, I get tired of answering them questions, Eric. I mean, you keep it going, brother, because that's your page and that's your thing. But every time I hear that, I say, okay, here we go again. Eric is stirring it up. God don't owe you shit. You breathing. You better do something with your fucking life. God doesn't owe you shit. He doesn't owe you anything. And see, this is for all you who you think you got a corner on truth because you had a religious grandmama that, you know, didn't get nothing done. She just prayed all the time. And she may have failed, and she may not have been much in life, and she may have been poor, but she prayed all the time. But see, you're ignorant. Because you don't understand that God is timeless. You stuck in time. God had your great-great-grandmother praying for you before your ass was even thought of. The slaves who had been removed from their culture. People think white men gave our people the Bible. King James was black. He had men translate the Holy Scriptures into English, and then there was a council of men that decided what books would not be in there and what would not. Check it out. Do your research. For all of you who talk about the lost book of this and the lost book of that, yeah, you can keep talking that shit all you want, but the Catholic Church has 131 books of your history, you black self. Your history. And it tells who you are, and they know who you are. They know who you are. They know you are the preeminent, the first who God created. And if you go in some of the parts of Europe, all over Europe, the Madonna child is black. Now, Think about this kind of mind where everyone in front of you talking about your heritage mixed with paganism is white. And they're ruling the world with it. And they're holding the truth in unrighteousness. Because there's some things they can't change in that book. He won't let them. And after all these years, some of us simple-minded, as you would say, ignorant niggers, as they would say, have discovered who they are in that book. Simply because there's a God. And that book is filled with things that tells you, and if he has a representation on earth, it's you. And let me tell you why everybody is against the so-called black man. You, little woman, or whatever you were saying, get over that. The world's not against you. It's a self-hate thing. Shit, I ain't gonna stand up here and tell you one day I love myself. You can think whatever the fuck you want. But I do know this much. You ain't a Hebrew by your own words. I am. And I know the devil and everybody who he speaks to and has raised up hates me. But they can't fuck with me. They've been killing my ancestors. The trouble on black people, it's the tribulation. No, it's the Christians, brother. No, let me tell you something about a lot of these Christians. A lot of them, they have a genuine love for the truth and a genuine love for the Messiah, but they don't know who he is. They don't know his name, and they are in a system that is taking advantage of their faith. And you watch, every man that is presiding over that, Eric, I'm with you in this. Every man that is presiding over this shit that is going on in these churches is going to be beat. And I mean it. See, some of you, you're impatient because you're stuck in time. So you're impatient. And you're just like the Bible said you would be. Centuries ago it was written about you. In the last days there shall come scoffers, walking after their own lust, mockers, saying, where's the promise of his coming? They've been saying he's coming. And I see a lot of you, you make that cynical shit, you make that cynical statement. I just look at you and I shake my head and I say, damn. They're in the book. It's in the book. They didn't know your ass. They wrote that about you hundreds of years ago. It's documented. It's documented. It's documented. They found the ark, like, not that shit that they said, the ark was a building. It wasn't a boat. It was a building. It was a building. The Bible even describes it as a building. And it was just there to float. It wasn't there to sail the seven seas. Sinbad the sailor, a mighty ship as he building pulls it tight, all his might, a mighty sailor. It wasn't a ship. It was a covering building. And it had every animal in there needed. Why is that so fucking hard for you to believe? As big and as awesome as those pyramids are. Why do you think the one who created this earth couldn't empower 8 people to escape? That's why standing against a bunch of you don't mean shit to me. You guys are weak. You don't even know who the fuck you are. And when I hear a person saying there's no God, I just look at the scripture that says about you, the fool has said there is no God. And some of you, you are so rebellious and stupid. You will strain, yeah, well, that comes out of this culture. That comes out of that culture. That comes out of this. So Christianity is fake. Christianity is fake, but the Bible ain't. Let me tell you something about these white men. See, a lot of you don't believe this. You need to get you an apocrypha since you're so avid on reading. I ain't reading that shit. Okay, well, then just keep taking shit. But you need to get you an apocrypha which talks about angels. Angels that came in and seduced women. And giants were born in the land. And there's a line of people that are evil. And their skin was pale. Oh, that's a fucking fairy tale. Who's the most evil man on the planet, though? Answer me. Come on, answer me. No, don't give me the shit about, will you forget about that white man? Who's the most evil man on the planet? Who has conquered every nation on the planet? Who has used truth and principles and prayer and precious things that come out of a culture that did not belong to them? Who has used that to wage war? And I'll tell you how evil these motherfuckers are. Yes, they did take prayer out of school. They did take prayer out of school. I remember. Your ass is too young to even know. I remember when they took it out of school. Never mind the shit they're doing now. They made a law. They made a statement. Your ass wasn't even born, so be quiet. I'm 59. I remember when they took prayer out of the school. Yeah, you could pray in your corner. You could do this. You could do that. But you couldn't pray to God. And you could not pray to a Messiah. And you could not have any corporate prayer. And the God I serve says you can pray to him anywhere you are. Sitting around in here fooling with these laws. Some of you Negroes, you got either you got the influence of these white people in you, or you got a lot of them in your blood. Because you act just like them. They say something, yeah, well, that's true. Well, they discovered this. Well, they discovered that. You dumb. Oh, got the nerve to call. My brother said, coon, because I believe in my faith, in my God. No, coon, you, because you don't know that the faith is yours. And you take away your faith, what do you have? Well, the ancient this and the ancient that. Show me. No, you don't need to show me. Just produce for yourself a consistent documentation of it that you can walk by, and then you wouldn't have shit to say to me, because I've taken the documentation that I know my ancestors originated. I wouldn't want nothing the white man touch. Well, take off your Levi's, Negro. Get out of your car. Stop eating your food. Get away from your computer. They have touched everything in this world. And they're not the ones who were commissioned to dominate the world. Not dominate men, dominate the world. Let me tell you why the world's so fucked up. Because the man who was told to have dominion is out of place. And a man who came way after him is running it, and he's doing a fucked up job. Well, give us some credit. I ain't giving nobody credit for shit. I know who I am. I know my God, and I know who's supposed to be running this shit. And give it a few ticks. I don't have to pull out no pop pistols and start trying to outnumber them and fighting like them and all that. Give it a few ticks. You watching them fuck up everything that they do. This is why I make videos. Because I can talk from my insides, which are bigger than any motherfucking thing that you have learned. I'm not a sheepskin degree or C notes from a system that was created by my oppressor. I am a living, breathing, powerful example of God. That's all I am. And that's all I can be. And to be anything else is to not be shit. Now some of you, you're going to go on doing what you're doing. And that's your privilege. Because the way I see it, according to prophetic writings, I don't know when man is going to destroy himself. Because that's what he's going to do. And some of you, oh, this nigga's crazy. Yeah, but you're crazy not to see that that's what this motherfucker's been doing. You're crazy not to see that with the food, with the wars, with the psychological genocide, and with the straight up murder, how they do shit. You're crazy. You think it's a conspiracy, theory. It's a conspiracy theory. Ain't no fucking conspiracy. It's life. I don't need to say, oh, they're conspiring. They're conspiring. They already conspired. Thousands of years ago, they conspired. They're just flowing in the spirit of it. You're too slow. You're going to probably do what you want. But here's my advice to you. Find out where you came from, who you are, what you should be doing now, and where you're going. If you don't want to deal with that, get off my fucking line. And any of my comments that you don't like, know that you're running them across a deaf ear. Half the shit you guys write, I read about 3 lines you write. I probably skip down to the bottom and see, okay, can I address anything that would get this shit out the earth? Let me tell you why I talk. I talk because I know words. Talk isn't cheap. Words are what release things in the air. So you're never going to out-talk me. You'll have to resort to jokes and insults and shit, but you're never going to out-talk me. You can out-talk yourself. You can out-talk my speech in your head. That's your privilege. But your words don't mean shit. And you're never going to say something about my God without me proclaiming that I am the product of my God. And this is not your world. You're just a disgruntled spiritual midget who doesn't know where you came from, who you are, what you should be doing now, and where you're going. Eric, you be blessed. Genuinely. I got nothing but love for you. People that I don't agree with, I don't hate. But let me tell you what I do hate. I hate people trying to invite me into accepting their bullshit. And because they are empty as it relates to faith and spiritual desire, trying to suggest to me that I need to be free. You're in a fucking prison if you can't answer those 4 statements. I'll do it one more time, slowly. Where you came from. Why you're here. Who you are. What you should be doing. Which is why you're here. And where you going. Till you answer that, you should close your mouth.